Greetings and welcome to today's session. This is another CABS ICT Resource Center paper, and this is for September 2024. So in this paper, we are starting with paper 2, and I'm also going to give paper 1. So please check in the video description for the paper and you download it. Now, today's paper 2, we are supposed to look at item 1 and also item 2. So to begin with, let's look at item 1. We interpret it and then we do it. So we get started. Item 1. In a certain neighborhood, a women's self-help group called Twegatte Savings Group was established to promote savings and loans among its members. The group treasurer records all the transactions in a manual ledger, but as the group grows, it has become difficult to manage the records efficiently. Some members have raised concerns about delays in getting financial reports and inconsistencies in the loan repayment calculations. A new member suggested automating the system for better management of records. The treasurer extracted the records into a file called Twegatte Savings.docs, and the group has also provided a template for loan reminders in the file loan reminder.docs. Now, the task: using the support files provided, A, create an electronic version of the records and use it to provide a visual summary of members' savings contributions. B, generate a list of members who have outstanding loan balances and prepare a loan reminder for each member. So this is our item 1, and then when it comes to item 2, we shall handle it. But for now, let's first handle item 1. So remember, while dealing with item 1, in the element of construct, it says that a learner manipulates data using different application programs. So when you are attempting item 1, you are supposed to use different application programs. And these are the skills we are looking out for. Have you managed to use an appropriate application? Did you manage to do data entry, e.g. tabulation of data? Then have you done editing? Have you done formatting? Have you used relevant application tools? Then did you manage to do data representation? If it is PowerPoint, have you applied some multimedia clips? Then maybe you have also included some graphical objects. If it is Excel, there are some graphical objects, etc. Then lastly, have you managed to represent the product in form of soft copy and then the printed work, which we call hard copies? So meaning that item 1 in total will carry 30 marks. So let's now get started. We can look for the support files. So here are the support files. We have what we call Twegatte Savings document. Here it is. This is how it is organized. I close it. We have loan reminder. Here is a letter reminding members. And then there is something like a logo I see here. Now, this is the data we are going to use. We are going to copy this information. Let's copy from the support files. I close. Then we create our working folder, which I'm going to call Kakuru Benard. Kakuru Benard 001. I open it. I create a new folder called item 1. Then I paste what I've copied in item 1 folder. So that I copy from support files and use it in my working folder. So I've started now. So when you look at this scenario question, they are saying create an electronic version of the records and use it to provide a visual summary of members' saving contribution. generate a list of members who have outstanding loan balances, and prepare a loan reminder for each member. So that is our task. So meaning that I'm going to open this Twegatte Savings document, and after opening it, we can now make it a table. So I can highlight this, I go around here and say all borders for now. Having put the borders, we can even put like a heading. This is Twegatte Savings Group members, something like this. So I can highlight, I can increase its font size, I can change font color, I can underline, I can bold, I can put my name as my header, and I put my footer as my personal number 001. I close. So these are a few things I can do here in Microsoft Word for now. I save changes. Now we can copy this table. So we copy our table. We can now create an Excel here. So let me create Excel. I call it Twegatte Savings. I open, I paste my table here. So on pasting our table, we can now try to expand a bit these columns. Something like that. Something like that. So with this, we can even, when you look at our ID column, it has this 00, so we can put them there also. So here we can highlight this column. We can customize it, so we can right click, format cells, under custom, click on this 0 below general, then we add here more 2 zeros, we click OK. So our data now has the zeros at the start. We can center our content. I save changes. So we are going to copy this data. We put it on sheet 2. Having put it on sheet 2, we can do some calculations on sheet 2. One, we can get the loan balances, equal signs. We get the loan that the member 2 minus what the member has paid so far. So when we press enter, we are able to get the loan balances in that format. Then more to that, we can do other calculations, like we can get the total amount that was saved here, total amount saved. So here we can get the total amount that the members have saved here, equal signs sum. We add up the total savings here, we get that. Then more to that, we can calculate something to do with the total amount, the total loan amount, or the total amount that is loaned, total amount loaned. So let's calculate it here, equal signs sum, open brackets, we add up amount that was loaned, press enter. Then we can also add this one, amount repaid so far, total amount repaid. We calculate it here, equal sign sum, we open brackets, we add up amount that was repaid, enter. Then we can also bring something to do with maybe number of members who have loan balances, members with loan balance. So here we can also calculate that in this column here, equal signs count if, we open brackets, we highlight these ones, we put a comma, open quotes, we say we want those ones with loan balances greater equal to 1. We close the quotes, close the brackets, like that. We press enter. So we have these 5 people with loan balances. Then we can also get members who have members with no loan balance. So here we can calculate members with no loan balances in this row. Equal signs count if, open brackets, we highlight our range, we put a comma, open quotes, we say less equal to 0. We close quotes, we close the brackets, enter. So those who have no loan balances are 2. Then we can highlight our work, we put grids. So let's highlight our work. We put some grid lines. So we can put all borders, something like that. Then more to that, on our work, having put grids, let's now generate a graph. For example, we can highlight member name and the total savings. So hold down control, highlight total savings, we go to insert, then we go under columns. We can pick like a 2D column graph like that. We can right click and move chart to a new sheet. We can call it this is a column graph. Then we click OK. So this graph we need to put x-axis, y-axis and a title. So under layout we can pick this layout 9, which shows all these. So on top here we can say a column graph showing amount saved against names. So we press enter, the title goes there. Let's fill the x-axis, these are names, we press enter, then we click here, this is y-axis, we put amount, we press enter. So we have labeled our chart well. Let's go to sheet 1 here, we rename it, we can call it original, enter. This sheet 2 we can right click and rename it, we can call it computed. So the graph is here. So here we need to put at least let's make it better. I can highlight, can come under maybe conditional formatting. I can put some color schemes, something like that. Then we can as well put headers and footers. Let's go to insert, header and footer. So under header I can put my names. Then I got footer and put my personal number. Now this work has been split. We can go to page layout, orientation, we put it to landscape. Yeah, so the work is fitting very well. Save changes. So on printing, it means that the work is fitting on that landscape page. So you choose A4. After choosing A4, ensure that the work is fitting. Then you can choose print. Then you go to graph, you also print it. Go to original work, you also print it. So for now, we are done with our work here, Excel. Let's go to another application. We are going to create access to save this data and create an electronic storage. So this I can as well call it Twegatte Savings database. So we open it. Now that we have a table in Excel, we are going to import into Excel. I mean into Access. Let me enable content. I go to external data, new data source, from file, Excel. This data is on the desktop. I browse desktop. I look for my folder, Kakuru Benard 001. From here, I enter item 1. I look for this Excel. I click OK. From there, I'm going to use original sheet. I click next. First rows contain column headings. Make sure that one is ticked. Next. Next. Choose a primary key. We have member ID, so I choose that. I select member ID. Next, I can call this savings table. I can call it savings. I finish. I close. Now we have our table called savings. Everything is here. And now, you know, in database, we can create some objects. To begin with, we can create at least a query. So let's create a query. I'm going to use Query Wizard. I click OK. I take all fields using the double arrow. So it can take all the fields. Then we click next. Next. So this query, we can call it, for example, total savings query. I click modify, finish. So this is our query. We are going to use this total savings query to calculate the loan balance. So here we click there and go to builder. Reaching here, we can remove that. We also remove that. Then at this point, I can put columns. So we are going to get amount that was taken as loan, something like that, minus what has been repaid, like this. We click OK. We run our query. So it shows here the loan balances. We save that. We can also create another query which is showing members who have loan balances. We create Query Wizard. I click OK. I can get it from the total savings query. I take all fields. Next, next. Then this one I can say members with loan balance. Members with loan balance. I modify, finish. So at this point we are going here to get those with loan balance. So the query criteria I can put here is greater equal to 1. I run. So these are members who have loan balances. I save changes, I close. Let's create another query of members with no loan balance. So create Query Wizard, I click OK. I choose from the total savings query. I click next, next, next. Let's call it members with no loan balance. So we click modify and finish. So we come to this column and say less equal to 0. We run our query. These are members who have no loan balances. They have cleared. So we save changes and close. So those are some queries you can create. Let's now at least create a form. Create form wizard. I choose from the total savings query. I take all fields. Next. Can leave it columnar. Next. We can call it let's say total savings form. We click finish. Here is our form. We can do some modifications. Click view, design view. We are going to at least change maybe the background color here. Can choose something like yellow. Here I can right click. I can choose that kind of background color. At this point I can put a footer. So we add a footer here of our names. To identify this work from a colleague. Then we can as well put date and time here. I can put date and time. I click OK. So date and time will be there. What else can we put on our form? We can put the title instead of total savings form. We can put Twegatte savings form. Yes, that is our title. Then note that we can put like a logo or an image of Twegatte. So I can go to insert, I browse, I go to desktop, the support files, I mean in my folder, item 1, this is the logo. So I can draw something here like that. So when we click view, form view, that is our form, title, logo, date and time, background color, and the footer. So if you are printing the form, you can go to file, print, preview. You first check how your form will look like when printed. Then from there, order for printing, you close. So we are done with our form. Let's now create a report. Create report wizard. Let's also create from the total savings query. Take all fields. Next. Next. Let's sort, for example, our member name in ascending order. We click next. Tabular portrait. Next. Let's call it total savings report. And then we click on finish. So here is our report. We can modify a few things. Close print preview. I saw member name is very long. We can reduce it a bit up to around there. I can bring this behind. Total savings need to be increased a bit, then brought behind. Then amount that was taken as loan, also we do like that. Amount repaired, like that. Then the balance can also be expanded a bit. So we can also put a background color here. Can pick, for example, that. This one we can also choose a different color. So here we put that color. You can pick a different color, something like that. Let's put a header, I mean a footer here. A footer, let me put my personal number. Then in the here we can change this to Twegatte Savings Group report. After putting that, we can also put an image to act as a logo. So we can draw it around here. After putting that, we can also think we are done having put all this. If you click view, report view, that is our report. Save changes. We are done here, so we close our application. Let's now check our loan reminder letter and we finish this number. So at this point, we have this file. We need now to do mail merge using our table, using our database the question is asking us to generate a list of members who have outstanding loan balances and prepare reminder letters. So meaning that in our database, we have a query of members with loan balance, this one. It's what we shall use in doing our mail merge. So let's get started using that very query, members with loan balance. So here we go to mailings, select recipients, use an existing list. From there, our list is on the desktop in our folder Kakuru Benard 001 under item 1. So we select our database, Twegatte Savings database. Then from there, it is asking us, where are you picking the data source? We are going to use members with loan balance, these ones. Remember, we have a table, then these are queries. We want members with loan balance, we click OK. After that, we are going to have, for example, date. We can put today's date and all that. So let's insert merge fields, dear member. So let's select the member, insert merge fields, member name. Then this is a reminder regarding outstanding loan you took from Twegatte Savings Group. According to our records, you are currently having a balance here, loan balance. Insert merge field, loan balance. So this we can even bold it. Then of the loan you took, so this one here, we highlight loan amount. We can highlight also and bold. Then before due date, so we can give them date. For example, before 30th September 2024. That's the date we are giving them. And then today's date, we can even use insert date and time. Wednesday today, we click OK. So far our letter is getting complete. Under mailings, we can preview results. So far, this is how our letter looks like. Best regards, treasurer name, Kakuru Benard. Okay. So at this point, we can see all those who have loan reminders. There are 5. Let's modify our letter. We can select all. For example, choose Times New Roman, font size 14. I can justify my work. Now I want us to make something like a headed paper. I'm going to copy this. I can cut it. I open here. I paste it in the header. After pasting it in the header, let me center, increase font size, can make it more bigger, something like that. Can even make it capital letters. After, I'm going to put a logo. I go to insert picture, this device. On the desktop, I look for my folder here. I mean my logo here, Twegatte. Here it is. We can reduce it a bit. Then I go under wrap text. I can choose any of these. There is tight. For example, tight. We reduce it a bit. Or let me make it, for example, in front or behind any of these. Then we adjust where to put it. For example, there. So that is our logo. We are trying to make a headed paper. I go to insert shapes. Let me pick this. I draw a line somewhere here. Then shape outline. Can make it red. I can increase the weight to about 6. So this is our headed letter. I'm going to insert a footer of my personal number 001 Kakuru Benard. Okay, so at this point we are done modifying our letter. This one we can put it to the right. We can press some enter here, create some more space. Can even increase the line spacing a bit, something like that. Can even put here drop cap. Let's put like a drop cap, something like that, with this kind of color. And then still under mailings, we go to finish and merge, edit individual documents. We click all, okay. So at this point, these are the letters going to the 5 people. So we save this in our working folder on the desktop, Kakuru Benard, item 1. These are loan reminder letters. We click save. We close this one, we don't need it. And now this means that when you look at our folder here, this file we don't need it because we have generated the last one. So in our folder we have so far finished this number. So when you look at here, use of appropriate application, when you look through this item and the support files, they should give you a way forward on which applications you are going to use. Data entry, have you done some data entry? Yes, we entered it in Excel. We also entered it in database, and you have seen that. Then editing, we have edited our Word document to suit this. Formatting, we have done formatting of the content. We have used different tools. Representation of data, we have done some graphical objects. For example, we started with this document. We did editing and formatting in this document. From there, we created Excel where we had the original work. We did some formatting, that is data entry, part of data entry. We created a new sheet. We did calculations of the balance. We did all these calculations. We generated a graph. Then from there, we have also moved to database. We created a table by importing it. We created members with loan balance. We created a query with members with no loan balance. We created a query for total savings where we are calculating whoever has a balance or not. We created a form. We created a report. Finally, we generated the loan reminders for those who had loan balances. So we have finished our item 1. So get time, we discuss with your learners and the way forward on how best they can pass their ICT both O and A level, so the facilitation can go on. And we look at the way forward and tips to passing ICT successfully. So we are available, and we ensure that once you follow all that well, you are able to pass highly in your papers, both 1 and 2. So thank you very much. Continue following me on the YouTube channel. You go there, search for Kakuru Benard, and enjoy all the content that is being uploaded now and again. My numbers are down there. In case you need to contact me, I'm available on WhatsApp, on email, and on phone calls. God bless.